Hey you, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Crystal Lamont and I am here to help you build your credit and your money game from the ground up because that's what I'm doing. So I'm basically documenting this journey of me trying to build my wealth, following tips from a ton of like gurus on from books I've read and other YouTube channels that I follow, and taking their advice and sort of applying it so I can step up my money game. Along the line, I'm also learning about finances, and I'm in school for accounting, and I'm just sort of like putting this channel out there to kind of help somebody who's at the same journey and they don't know where to start. Maybe they can do this with me. So whether you're just starting or rebuilding your credit, this video is going to be one for you. I want you to not just watch this video, but do the things with me. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to get your computer out. Take notes if you need, but I'd rather you do this like step by step with me, because what I'm doing, I actually have my computer in front of me here, today what we're going to be doing is essentially pulling our annual credit report to check it for any discrepancies or derogatory things on it, and then the next step would be to address those with the credit reporting agencies, and the goal is to get your credit score a little bit higher. I am an entrepreneur and I've owned a couple of businesses, and I still own several businesses, and recently I kind of tagged one of these videos that I was looking through on Instagram, because I'm also looking for funding or capital to build part of my business or to purchase a business that's similar to mine, so I can like be an absentee owner in one part of the US or state and do what I'm doing over here. Anyways, I digress. It's not the point. The point is that this particular ad was like, oh, no personal credit, no financial reporting, all this stuff, get funding, X, Y, and Z. I think it was like for 100K. I was looking for like 65, but 100, a little bit more wouldn't have hurt me, right? They're like, get approved right away. And so I sent in my information and they asked me a few questions, and in the end they wanted to get my credit and get all my financials, and for this particular business I'm looking for funding, I don't have financials yet because I just opened the business. As a matter of fact, I don't even have a bank account yet. I haven't decided what bank I want to go with yet. I think I might do another video on my choosing of what bank I decide to go with on that later, maybe next week. Anyways, so the point is they were like, oh, we're fundamentally a credit reporting agency, and they charge like $500 for their credit like health assessment, and wanting to build your credit better so you can get more funding. And I have history about my second job, so that was like, we'll say 30 plus years ago. No, I would have been way too young. I'm 40 now. Would have been too young at 30 to have like this type of job. I was like 17 or 18 when I got this job. I was like at base I was telemarketing, but I was essentially I was working for not a real estate company, a mortgage company that was helping people who were like subprime lenders is what they were called, but they were essentially trying to help people who didn't have the best credit to refinance their house to get into better loans or better interest rates. But a lot of times when I would make contact with these people, their credit was so bad that it was like subprime. And so what we did we would help build their credit before they got into the loan program that we had. And so I have basic knowledge of what it takes to build your credit, and the steps that it takes. I've also recently read a book, and there was like a whole chapter on credit cards and credit and how it works. And so I say this because I wasn't going to spend $500 with this company to start doing this when I know that I'm fully capable of figuring it out myself. So with that being said, what we're going to do today is pull my credit, and ideally you would be doing this with me, getting your pulling your credit and looking and seeing what your report has and addressing any discrepancies. And now, mind you, I'm going to tell you, I've never done this before. I've recommended many people to do this process, so it could take me 5 minutes, or it could take a half an hour, I don't know, or an hour. Obviously by the time that this video is posted, there's going to be like a length on it, and you'll already know like more or less what the time it's going to take. But that's just bear with me. Sorry, I had like a little like brain fart. I couldn't figure out the word that I was looking for there. But anyways, we're doing this because, your credit score affects more than your ability to get credit cards. It's your credit can determine whether you get approved for an apartment or purchasing a house if you're there yet in your life. It affects your car insurance rates, and in even some cases people get their credit checked for jobs. And so a good credit score can open doors for you. Bad credit scores can certainly close them, and that's why it's super important to have good credit. And the best credit, even like the minimum best credit you should be aiming for, is 700 and above. Once you hit that 700 mark, really, like, you're like a golden child for creditors, and you can get a lot with that. So right now, personally, I am at like a 650 or 660. So I'm close, but I'm not close enough for people to like willy-nilly just trust me with like say $100,000 when I have no financials with my current business. So 700 is the goal, and that's what we're working on. But yeah, let's talk a little bit too about why, before we jump into getting your credit, like with some of the things that make up your credit score, and how these credit agencies come up with these numbers, right? There's 3 credit reporting agencies when you pull up your credit or somebody pulls it. I want to say it's Experian, Equifax, hold on, I'm going to Google it because I don't actually know the third one. I should know it because I literally was just looking into this. Okay, TransUnion, and Equifax. Those are the 3. I don't know why I couldn't find TransUnion in my bit of brain there, but so about 30 to 35% of your credit is made up of your payment history. So if you have good payment history, that's a significant portion of about a third of it. So any late payments will affect that significantly. Occasionally you can get one removed, like a late payment, if it was like a one-off situation. A lot of creditors will, if you call them and explain, they'll remove it, especially if you have a good history of payments in the past. So that's one thing I'm going to look at, because I know I have like 1 or 2 derogatory. I had a personal thing come up, and I just missed it by like a day. Anyways, credit utilization is about 30%. So that's the type or the amount of credit that you use. Either say you have a $1,000 credit card, if you are maxing out that $1,000 credit card every month, or if it's below a certain amount. And ideally what the credit agencies want you to, they want you to utilize about 30% of your credit. So if you have a $1,000 credit card, you really, the most you ever want to spend on it is the $300. That being said, you should also be paying off your credit card every month. If you can't make a charge on your credit, you don't have the funds in your debit account, I recommend that you do not use that charge for the credit on a credit card. So yeah, also another thing that they look at is your credit history, and apparently that's 15%. I just learned that today before I started this video. So if you have opened a credit card when you were 18 and you are only 20, then you only have 2 years of credit, right? So, and another thing that they look at is your credit mix, the type of credit loans that you have. So student loans, credit cards, mortgages, car loans, those are like the different types of loans that they look at. And new credit inquiries also affect it, but only by 10%. So if you recently, if you're somebody who follows your credit very diligently, like I have for the last couple years, every time you have your credit checked or looked at by an agency that you're trying to get credit for or a loan, it'll actually ding your credit. It takes it down a little bit. We'll say like 10 points. It's not major, but it recuperates quite quickly within 3 months after the inquiry is hits your account. So yeah, so I know that sounds like a lot, but it's really just trying to, like, it's like an overall view of like the health of how you manage things. And I can possibly break down these a little bit further in a future video if that's something that you feel like you want to talk about, or we can learn more about. I'm definitely open to learning more about that. Also suggesting a couple books as well. I'll put like at the bottom of this from how I learned a lot of this. So generally I was gonna actually put this a screen share when I do this, but because I still don't have a good like video editing app that I like, I tried Descript and it was, so now I'm still just using my phone. But anyways, we are going right now. I hope that that's been enough time for me to ramble, for you to get your computer out and to open a new window. So let's open a new window now with me, and let's do this. We're gonna pull our credit report and see what's on there. So first step is to go to annualcreditreport.com. And this is the only federally authorized site where you can get your free report from all 3 of the major bureaus. Anything else that if it doesn't say annualcreditreport.com, don't go to it, because they're like probably going to ask for money, and you don't need to be giving anybody money to pull your credit report. Your credit report is your personal information. It's 100% free, and don't fall for any of those scams. You are allowed to pull your credit once every 12 months for each bureau or credit agency. So what I'm going to do is pull only one from, we'll say, we're going to do TransUnion today, because that was the one that was like not in my head, and I'm going to pull it so I know for sure it'll stick in my head next year. And then in 4 months, we're going to pull from the next one. And then in 4 months for there, we're going to pull for the next one. It's just going to be rotating like that. So there's constant monitoring of any derogatory reports on the credit report, so we can make sure everything's like squeaky clean, right? Okay, so let me get into this. Annual credit report, annual credit report, annual credit, ANNUALCREDIT, credit report.com. creditreports.com in a new browser. So hopefully you can still hear my voice, but you're no longer looking at my fabulous long hair and music tee. All right, so this looks fairly simple. Website, annualcreditreport.com, the only source for your free credit reports authorized by the federal law. So free weekly online credit reports are available from Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Credit reports play an important role in your financial life, and we encourage you to regularly check them. Yes, I agree. That's why we're doing this. Also, if you're not on like CreditWise, or there's a couple free like apps that do that where you can just kind of look at it quickly, those are good too, but they're not always very like as precise as these reports. So these come up and they're like pages of info. So all right, so I'm going to continue reading these. One of these things is not like the other. You may think you have one credit report. Oh, come on, go back. What happened? You may think you have one credit report and one credit score, but you really have several and they may differ. Yes, we knew that. You should check all three reports regularly. I knew that. Yeah, they always tend to be a little bit different. And when you have, they always take a reporter, like say for example, if you're trying to get a mortgage, they'll take like the average or the middle number of the three. But if they're all over 700, it doesn't matter at the point. It's good. So, all right. So I'm going to click the green button here that says request your free credit reports. Let's have you do that too. And it was on the top middle part of the screen. It says, and then again, we're going to do step 1, 3 steps to your free online credit report. Fill out a form, pick the reports you want, request and review your reports online. Before you get your credit reports, you will answer a few questions. These questions are meant to be hard. You may even need your records to answer them. Oh dear. They are used to ensure that nobody but you can get your credit information. If you can, save and print your credit reports so you can review them later. That's what we're going to do. Absolutely save them. And then you may be able to like print them out so you can look at them a little bit better. And I'm assuming that these questions are going to be like about like previous jobs or places I've lived. So, okay. So we're going to hit the green button here that says request your credit reports. That's on the second page. And fill out your personal information. Okay. First name, middle name. Ooh. Oh, middle initial, just mine's Amber, so, okay. Okay. Last name. No suffix for me, but if you have one, put it in. Put in your birthday. I didn't put the dashes in, so I have to go back. Ooh, and I put the wrong year that I was born. That's weird. Okay, social security number. I like that they like make it secret. Verify social security number. Okay, I put it in twice. Current U.S. address. This site provides credit information only for U.S. credit files. To request report, you must list U.S. addresses in the address section of the form. If you give your foreign address to credit reporting companies, may not be able to find your information. Okay. So, I am going to put in my current address. Address, line 2, my city. California. Zip code. Have you lived at this address for 2 years or more? For me, it was no, so I'm putting in my previous address. 0894. Changing the zip code. For whatever reason, my zip that was saved was not right. Next button. Okay. Step 2, request 1, 2, or 3 reports. Again, there is the 3, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. I'm going to hit TransUnion, but you can choose any of the 3 that you like. Okay, common questions. Should you order all 3 reports now or spread them over time? The answer depends on you. If you're thinking about buying big soon, new car, home, you may want to get all your reports now. If you're not planning a big purchase, requesting them over time might be a better choice, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So whichever strategy you choose, mark your calendar so when you can request, oh my gosh, I can't read. Mark your calendar now so you know when you can request your next free credit report. Okay, I'm just doing the one, TransUnion, hitting next. It's thinking. Okay, please review the following information before continuing. To receive a free credit report online, you must complete the identity verification process. If you don't wish to complete the process online, or you can't complete it online, you may obtain a free credit report by phone or mail. Upon reviewing a report online, we strongly recommend that you print or save it before you close the window and leave the site, as it will only be available to you during the session with TransUnion. Okay, so verifying my information now. My name is spelt right. My birthday. Lastly, please supply some additional information for you to continue. Okay. Doing my personal email. Phone number. Accept and continue. Thinking. So while this is, oh, just kidding. We're not going to do that while I was thinking. I thought it was going to take longer. So now we are on confirm your identity step. This is step 3. To protect privacy, ensuring that your credit report is only viewed by you, I'm going to answer a couple questions. So protecting your privacy and personal information are highest priority, so we need to make sure that you're really Crystal. That's me, and yours would say you. This passcode is valid for 15 minutes, and you have 3 chances to enter it correctly. You can request a new passcode if you didn't get the first one. Standard text message. Okay, I'm going to do a text message. Agree and send code. It's going to a different phone, so I'm going to pick that up. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay, here's my code. Enter in the code to verify my identity. You're all set and your request has been processed. Thank you for choosing TransUnion, Crystal. Continue. Hitting the continue button, the big large blue one. So, personal credit report for me. My file number, date created, was the 17th of August. Okay. Wow. All of my addresses I've ever lived in. That's crazy. I've never actually seen my report before. So it's listing all of my addresses. Man, some memories here. Okay. Jeez. Places I've lived. That's crazy. All of these addresses are more or less right. There's one that's on there that's incorrect. I don't think that where your addresses are affects your report. Phone numbers. Oh my goodness. There's some phone numbers that are not mine on here. Very weird. Old employers. So accounts. Typically, creditors report any changes made to your account information monthly. This means that some accounts listed below may not reflect the most recent activity until the creditor's next reporting. Ooh. Interesting. This information may include things such as balances, payments, dates, remarks, ratings, etc. The rating key is provided to help you understand some of the account information that could be reported. Pay status, reports, and current status of accounts indicates how you are currently paying. For accounts that have been paid and closed, sold, or transferred, pay status represents the last reported status on the account. Interesting. Okay. TransUnion is now including some buy now, pay later installment loans. That's cool. I love because I've used those a few times and I'm always on time. Also known as point of sale installment loans on credit reports. At this time, the buy now, pay later information provided on TransUnion is visible to you, but scoring providers, lenders, oh my gosh, that was not said right. Information provided to TransUnion is visible to you, but scoring providers, lenders, insurers, or other authorized companies may not have access to your credit report, may not be able to see this data. That's interesting. So if you want to use, say if that's the only type of credit that you have, that's not the best type of credit because not everybody can see it. As a result, this will not affect credit decisions or credit scores calculated using TransUnion data. In the future, though, buy now, pay later may be factored into credit scores and credit decisions. For example, opening an account. Interesting. So it would add to the credit line that you have available, which I feel like that would only hurt your credit because if you're doing an installment for like, I don't know, we'll say $500 and you're only paying $80 and you've only made one payment, you're already significantly above the 30% mark of that $500. For the balance, not what you owe, right? Okay, so looking at accounts that I have student loans, those are correct. My interesting. So it's even showing balances of closed accounts that I'm still making payments on. Okay. So the Affirm, I have one for like one of those buy now pay later ones for a vet appointment. Best Buy credit card that's closed. My Capital One credit card. Don't know what this is. Let's open up my account and see that I don't recognize and see if an old mortgage. That's why I don't recognize it, because it's been years since I've had a mortgage. Pier 1, that one just closed on its own, which I was really annoyed about because they went into bankruptcy. And when you close an account, I do know from my credit reporting or building days that closed accounts will be a small like derogatory mark on your credit, meaning when they close, that your report will go down a little bit. Not by a lot, but enough. Like if you're teetering on the 700 and like 690, a couple points makes a big difference, right? Let's see what this one is. I don't even know what that. Okay, I have a Care credit card for my vet bills. Synchrony Bank. Who is this? Okay. That's weird that my Care credit is actually showing up twice. I don't know if that's bad, so we'll look into that later. I hope you're also continuing to review your credit. So what I'm going to do, this is like a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, like how much information is on here. So how can I don't want to leave. How do I save this? Let's see. Print or save my report. Okay, so I totally missed this. It's at the very top. If you have started to scroll down to review some of your information, scroll back up to the top of the credit reporting agency that has your report, and it should be on the top somewhere. If you're in TransUnion, it's the top right, and there's a little, like, it's blue in with like a paper and a little check mark. It says print or save my report, so I'm going to do that. I don't have a printer in my Airstream, so I'm going to only save it as a PDF. Saving, and I have a special section in my computer for just like my credit building stuff. Right. I thought I did, but I don't. I'm going to make a new report. This is in the same area that I normally save on my computer, like my taxes and other financial information. So I'm just going to say credit reports. And then open it. View, and then just put TransUnion. I'm going to do the date so I know. TransUnion credit report 17. Today's my date. 2025. Save. And now that we've saved our credit report, take a moment, go to your calendar, and from 4 months from now, put a note, like a reminder, to check your next one. So to me, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, December. We'll say 14th. I'm going to do it a little bit. And then a reminder, check, let's see, annual credit report. And I'm just going to say in the notes, here's my notes section. Oh, description. Okay, pulled TransUnion last time. Pull different one this time. All day. Okay, so I'm going to give you another couple seconds to save on your calendar to remind you in 4 months if you haven't done so. And okay, so that's it. So that's it for now. I am going to pause this video and maybe like tomorrow do another one of like the steps I'm going through to like review my report, or maybe next week, we'll see. But that was that for now. I could personally go and just stay and look at all my stuff, but I'd like to maybe, like I said, I want to do like a little bit of research and figure out how I report. It says here that I can start a dispute request online, and I'm going to hit that like off of the video and then make another video later to see like that process, and then we'll go step by step with my credit report and your credit report that you've pulled, so we can do it together and get anything derogatory off of our credit reports and hopefully get it all nice and shiny 700 plus. Also, I'd like to do like a little bit of research and see if all of these addresses are crazy to have on here and all of the different reports, like what's good and what's bad. So stay tuned for next week. Save your credit report before you close this window out, and stay tuned for the next one, and we can do our reportings of credit agencies next time. That looks like that took about 15 minutes. It probably would be faster if I wasn't talking and you were just doing it by yourself, but hey, now you did it, and good for you. Good for us that we did something and we're starting like to see, you know, this is like the first step to becoming like more financially sound, and like knowledge is power, right? So it's better to know what your number is, what's on your report, because if you don't know, you don't know, right? And in this case, ignorance is not bliss. Like, you don't want to go to try to apply for a loan and get like not approved because they're like, you got a 500 credit score and you trash. So you don't want that. So yeah, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of me and us, and we did this, and that was super pain-free and easy. And all right, so next step will be getting rid of those derogatory things on your credit report. Okay, thank you for watching me and for being here. I love you so much. Okay, bye.